Hello, hello. This is Dr. Jerrica Dodd, and I am the founder and CEO of Your Pharmacy Advocate. And I just wanted to share some pearls this evening with the Women in Pharmacy What Next group about a topic that I'm very passionate about. You see, I oftentimes hear pharmacists talk about their brains being picked. And usually when I hear that, I say, nope, no more picking your brain for free. No more. Because we are in a profession where we're used to people asking our knowledge and our expertise. And it's really important that we get some clarity around people picking our brains all the time. Because oftentimes in hospital and retail settings, we're used to doctors, patients, other healthcare practitioners asking us our opinion. However, many pharmacists are unable to discuss how they can monetize their knowledge and their expertise because they can't get past the thought of someone picking your brain for free. So they think, well, how could I possibly charge for that? I mean, I give out free information all the time. So this is what I want to share with you this evening. I want to give you some things to think about stop letting people pick your brain for free. And this is especially if you are looking to transition and build a consulting practice or any type of entrepreneurial pursuit based upon your knowledge and your expertise. You have to stop allowing people to pick your brain for free. So I want to share with you about 3 reasons why you have to just stop it. So my first reason is that it diminishes your respect. It diminishes the respect that people have for you when they can just pick your brain for free. So I would surmise to say that people do not value free. Like oftentimes we say, well, I'll give away this for free in exchange for possibly a sale or a contract or what have you. And I understand those types of situations, but just free and there's nothing that is in return. People don't usually value that. I had a coach of mine one time say that she gave away a free tuition, if you will, to her online learning program, Learning Academy. And that person who got it for free never ever logged in, never ever took advantage of all the free information, likely because it was free. People do not value free. So when you offer things when you offer your knowledge and you offer it for free, people will not have the respect for you that they will when you walk confidently and you value the knowledge that you bring. So that's my first reason why you have to stop letting your brain be picked for free is 1, it diminishes your respect and the respect that people have for you and for your profession. Number 2, it violates your boundaries. If you can tell me outside of a personal relationship with anyone that you have, if you can tell me that you know any doctor or lawyer or any other professional that you can call that you don't have a personal relationship with or a previous client relationship with, that you can call them and say, hey, I just want to pick your brain for free. I just want to ask you a legal question for free. And I promise that they may give you a little bit of information for free, but they are not likely going to just let you have carte blanche where you can pick their brain for free. So think about that. If you can't call a doctor and ask that doctor for information for free, if you can't call an attorney and ask an attorney for information for free, then you should not be able to be called by anyone such that they can pick your brain for free. You are a professional just as a doctor, as a lawyer. And like I said, if you don't have a personal relationship, I don't think there's any doctor or lawyer that you can just call up and tell them that you want an hour of their time. Hi, Pauline. Thank you for joining me. That you want an hour of their time for free. So with that, understand that number one, it diminishes your respect when you give your information away for free. Number two, it violates your boundaries when you give information away for free. And number three, it decreases your value. It decreases how you value yourself. And I know you're thinking, no, not really. That's not the case. Yes, it does. When you give away information for free, it decreases your value in your mind. It's why when I talk to pharmacists every day, they can't believe that they could possibly make money with their knowledge and their skills and their expertise. They're like, no, there's no way. I can't charge for that. They have this thing about, how could I possibly charge when I'm used to just giving my information away for free. So when you give your information away for free, you also devalue yourself. So that's a big reason why not to give your information for free, because you devalue yourself, you devalue the value of your craft. Like anyone in that's a pharmacist, a registered pharmacist, had to go to school at least 4 years in addition to another degree, potentially 5 years if you have a bachelor's, or 6 years if you have an entry-level PharmD. And then some people have gone on and done residencies and additional degrees, what have you, certifications. That all cost you a lot because many people are still paying their loans back. So I'm just going to run back through that really quickly for those who are joining late. Number one, the reason why you don't want to give away information for free and let people pick your brain for free is because it diminishes your respect. Number two, and as I said, people don't value free. Number two, it violates your boundaries. Because like I said, how many professionals can you call up who you don't have a relationship with and ask them to pick their brain for free? They will not be happy with you. And then number three, it decreases how much you value yourself, your profession, your craft, your expertise, and your skills. So it's really important that you don't stop letting people pick your brain and you're giving information away for free. Don't do it. I know it's hard. I know. Somebody's going to call you tomorrow and say, I just want to pick your brain. And I tell you, when someone says that to me, I don't even like those words, pick your brain. No, my brain is not to be picked. That makes me envision crows or something, and my brain just out for them to just pick and take whatever pieces they feel is valuable. No, you cannot pick my brain for free. So I want to give you an example where I had this happen and how to put your boundaries in place. And so I was out for a weekend with my best friend. We went out to eat. We met some more friends at a restaurant. We're sitting down, and one of the friends that we met brought another friend. And so the conversation is going, and that friend somehow figured out, I guess by the conversation we were having, that I am a pharmacist. And the friend of a friend said, "Oh, you're a pharmacist? I want to pick your brain. I've got to go to the doctor next week. I want to ask you." And it was 11 o'clock at night. We're at a restaurant. I'm out on a social gathering of friends just to have dinner, 11 o'clock at night, really late for me, and someone wants to pick my pharmacist's brain? No. So my boundary and the way that I said it, I think it was pretty eloquent in conversation, was I interrupted because I didn't even want her to start going down the line of what the issue or the problem was. But I interrupted and I said, I really do appreciate that you want to ask me questions, and I would love to hear what's going on. However, I'm out hanging out for the weekend with friends, and I really do appreciate that you want to ask me these questions. However, here's my card, and I am more than happy to consult with you on Monday after, I probably said 8 a.m., 9 a.m. or what have you. And I handed her my card. And I'm sure that it was probably a little bit of an awkward moment for her and for me because I'm not used to saying no, but I don't want to be put on the spot, a spotlight shined on me at a dinner table at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night with someone asking me questions. I don't have any resources with me other than I would have had my phone. But that's not how I want to enjoy my time off and my time out with friends. I don't want to discuss medical issues and you pick my brain for free. And so, oftentimes I think people just don't think when they ask that. And so she politely took my card. I never heard from her again, which tells me that either one, maybe she found answers to her questions from another healthcare practitioner. Number two, maybe she really didn't have the questions she thought she had. Either way, I made myself available and said, this is when I can do what you're asking me to do. And at first I felt a little strange, but I didn't feel bad anymore, because if I allow people to just pick my brain all the time wherever I am, I'm not just some walking encyclopedia. I'm not a walking reference for you to just take, information at will. And so I say that you have to set up boundaries. So that's an example of a conversation, is where you pause. You know what? I say thank you. I really do appreciate that you're asking for my advice or my, opinion. However, I would be more than happy to take a look at your case or focus on, your current situation or whatever it is that they want to ask you about. I'll be more than happy to listen and take a look at that on tomorrow or Monday or whenever I'm at work again, or I'm working, because I don't think it's fair for you to have your boundaries violated just because someone says, oh, you're a pharmacist? Let me pick your brain. We stop that here. No more of that. So I read an article, and this was actually in Forbes magazine, and this was published a couple of years ago by an author named Nancy Collamer, Collamer. And so it was talking about people picking your brain, and I thought this was really useful. So I wanted to share some suggestions on how to navigate that situation when someone wants to pick your brain for free. And the first thing that the author of this article suggested is that you should create an exempt list. And I totally agree with that. You should create an exempt list. So there are some people that are going to call you and you're going to answer their questions just because they are on your exempt list. So maybe this is family, but maybe not all family. Maybe it's, family members, like immediate close family members. Maybe it's, personal close friends. Maybe it's former clients. Maybe it's, colleagues. I don't know how you determine who's going to be on your exempt list, but maybe you should have an exempt list of people that you will definitely drop what you're doing and answer their questions. And you don't feel some type of way, if you may, that when they call you, because you've decided that these are the people that if they ask me, I'm going to help. That helps you determine who gets to have your free advice or your free opinion. The second thing that you want to do, and this is, in line with what I suggested before about it compromising your boundaries, the second thing that you want to do is set boundaries. So if someone calls or gets your attention and says, hey, I want to pick your brain, I want to ask you some questions, if this is someone that you are going to be willing to answer their questions and let them pick your brain, you still need to have boundaries. What are they going to pick your brain about? Is it a particular topic? Is it a particular subject? And if that's the case, then you allow them to ask you those questions about that subject. But this is not, A to Z, ask anything that you can think of, in this amount of time that comes to mind. But we're just going to talk about, for example, your questions that you have about your diet or your medication, and whatever those questions are, you stick to those questions. Some other ways that you can set parameters and boundaries are, how much time are you willing to spend? So every time I get on the phone with a pharmacist, I usually have a set time that the appointment has been booked for, and it depends on which link I send as to how much I intend to spend. But when I'm in that call, I determine if I'm willing for that call to go longer or not, because especially if this is not a paid coaching client, then I determine how long that call is going to go, because I'm giving something away for free. So make sure that you have boundaries with topic, with time. And if someone's asking you to meet you in a particular place, like they say, hey, meet me at the coffee shop downtown, I'd love to talk to you and pick your brain on this particular subject. Well, if the coffee shop isn't convenient for you, then don't go to the coffee shop. No, I would do better meeting at the library, because that's closer to me and where my schedule's taking me today. So make sure that you set boundaries such that people know the confines that you're willing to offer information in if you're going to allow someone to pick your brain. So, okay, number 1, create an exempt list. Number 2, set boundaries. 3, you can always offer alternative resources. So when someone wants to pick your brain, you can always offer them a resource and say, you know what? I'm probably not the best person to answer that question. You can give them a website. You can even maybe direct them to another person that you think would be better for them to speak with if it's not you. So don't feel that just because someone asks to pick your brain that you can't have that you can't forward them on or provide them additional resources or another person that would be better to answer their questions. So, and then my 4th suggestion that came from some of the reading that I was doing was to charge for your advice. So at one time when I was being bombarded with calls from pharmacists, the way that I slowed it down a bit, because it got to be a bit overwhelming, and I guess, that's a good problem to have. I didn't have my coaching practice at the time, but one of the things that I did was when people would reach out and say, oh, I want to talk to you, I want to pick your brain, I would say, I will be more than happy to get on the phone for 30 minutes for this amount of money. Maybe you say for $50 or, I don't know. And then I said, I will be more than happy to talk to you for an hour for this amount of money. And then I went on to say, if we talk and you decide that you'd like to work with me further, and again, I didn't even have a coaching program at that time, but it was just, the verbiage that I gave. If we talk and you decide that you'd like to work with me further, we can definitely take that deposit amount that you paid for a consultation with me to pick my brain. We can definitely subtract that from what it would cost to work with me. So that way someone's made an investment, because what I find is that when people make an investment, they're more bought in, they're more dedicated, they're more committed. And so you can always charge for giving your advice and your time. You can always put a price on that and let people know, if you want to work with me further, I'd be more than happy to credit you that amount. You can always even consider, because one of the things I find is that when people are asking for your time and they don't value it, again, because they don't value free, is you can ask them to give you a deposit just to make sure that they show up. And if you show up, I'll give you your money back. If you don't, then you've made a deposit and it's non-refundable. So these are some of the things that you can think about as you're thinking about people asking you for your time. Because I promise, if you're in this group and you're on this call, you likely are on the verge of doing what's next, or you're likely already doing what's next. And I can imagine that people are already starting to call you and reach out, because I think that LinkedIn definitely fosters quite a bit of that, where people can look and see what you're doing and they're curious, and so they want to talk with you. Then my last suggestion for negotiating how to let people pick your brain or not is understand that it is okay just to say no. And I know many women, and this should be all women in this group, many women feel like it's a bad thing to say no. They feel guilty. They feel like, oh, I can't say no. They ask me. We have this self-deprecating way about ourselves where we think, oh, they asked me, and oh my gosh, I'm just so honored that they asked, so I definitely have to say yes. And that is not true. If it's not going to work for your time, if this person's not on your exempt list, if the boundaries that you've set are not being respected or even considered, if there's a resource that would work better than you, then I would suggest that you would just say, hey, no, I can't do it. And so it's really important I'm trying to navigate this whole live thing at the same time. It's really important that you understand that you have to stop letting people pick your brain for free. I don't even like the phrase. I don't like to hear it, because it is not okay to pick my brain for free. What I have is valuable, and you will never be able to charge and monetize your knowledge, your expertise, and your skill set, especially in an entrepreneurial setting. You will never be able to monetize that if you just allow people to have free picking of whatever information they want from you. When you start to start to put up boundaries and allow people, select people that are on your exempt list. People will respect your time. They will respect your knowledge and your intellect, and they will respect your profession. And they will say, how much does it cost for a consultation? How much do I need to pay to, get a consult with you? And you'll see that people will begin to value the information that you have to share. So with that, I want to make sure that I can, get off one of my soapboxes now, and this will definitely be up in the group. If you know anyone that's not a part of this Women in Pharmacy group, by all means, you're welcome to invite them. The purpose of this group is for women who are either thinking about what's next for them. That's the name of the group, Women in Pharmacy, What's Next. That's the name of the dinner programs that I do. That's the name of the retreat that I'm getting ready to do, because I really want to help women think about what's next. Oftentimes we feel stuck in our positions. We feel like there's no way out. There are no options. We can't figure out the how. But it's so important to know that there is a what's next if you choose for it to be. And it's very, very possible to figure out that what's next. So this group that I formed is to inspire, to offer suggestions, to offer information, to offer community around women who are thinking about their what's next, around women who are taking the first steps with their what's next, or around women who are already doing what's next. And you can surely give some insight and share here in this group. So with that, I'll also let you know of a couple of events that are going on, that I have going on for Women in Pharmacy What's Next. On the 27th of September, that's the last Friday in September, here in Atlanta, Georgia, I am going to be holding a Women in Pharmacy What's Next dinner. I've been posting some videos from prior attendees that have attended and what they got out of it, because I can talk about the dinner program all day long and how important I think it is for you to attend, but I thought it was even better if you could hear what some former attendees or past attendees to the dinner who've come more than one time, because each time is a little bit different, who've come more than one time and attended the dinner and said about their experience. So that's Friday, September 27th at 6:30 p.m. There's also going to be another pharmacogenomics PGX 101 with my colleague Sue Paul will also be here in Atlanta, and on that very next day they will be, she and her business partner will be conducting a pharmacogenomics training on that Saturday, the 28th of September. So we're actually offering, if anyone would like to come to both events, we're actually both offering a discount. So if you want more information about that, definitely reach out to me. If you are in the Atlanta area, I would love to host you. It's always a lot of fun. And so most people who are coming in for that PGX 101 will already need to be here on that Friday anyway. So I invite you to come to the Women in Pharmacy What's Next. I got really excited because we have an attendee coming all the way from Boston. So that's really an honor. But if you're here, if you're local, if you're planning to come in for the PGX 101, definitely check out the dinner on Friday night, Women in Pharmacy What's Next. And then I'm also in the process of preparing for a Women in Pharmacy What's Next retreat. It's the very first one. So like when you go to the first of something, it is really, really like a special big deal. So I'm preparing for the first Women in Pharmacy What's Next retreat. That's going to be actually in the Savannah, Georgia, Hilton Head, South Carolina area. And I posted a picture today of the dining room because it took me so long to figure out the place that I wanted to rent, the home that I wanted to rent, the villa, because the setting and the table was really important, because I've seen so much happen across the table. So I'm in the process of putting together an amazing, fulfilling, and full weekend for women to have fun, to network, to connect, to relax, to be taken care of for the weekend, so that you do not have to worry about lifting a finger to do anything other than enjoying yourself. So I'm in the background doing all that. We're going to do some fun things. We're going to have a photo shoot while we're there. I'm going to be doing some coaching while we're there. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in the Women in Pharmacy What's Next retreat, that's going to take place October 4th through the 6th in Hilton Head, South Carolina is where we'll start. And so it'll be the 4th, which is that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm actually even going to do a bonus training after the retreat is over for anyone who's interested in further learning. And I'm going to talk about how pharmacists can market their businesses with little to no money, because that's something that I hear often as pharmacists don't know how to market. How do I get the word out? How do I market? And I'm going to talk to you about a lot of the things that I do and share them with you. So that'll be like a bonus training after that Sunday. So if you're interested in finding out details, cost, location, specifics, anything like that, please reach out, because I would love to host you at this retreat. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and would love for you to be one of the participants. It is not completely open, like just all comers. So I really want to get on the phone and have a conversation and see if I think that this experience will be a good experience for you, if it will be a good fit for you. So let's have a conversation if you're interested in attending the first ever Women in Pharmacy What's Next retreat. It's going to start out in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So with that, I hope all is well with you. I hope that you enjoyed this little training tonight. I wanted to do this because I've had a couple people that said this was a question that they had. So if you have other questions and you want to reach out, you're more than welcome to send me a private message, and maybe I'll get on and do a training like I did tonight. Just some heads up. These are some things to consider. These are some points to remember. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I appreciate you being in the group, and thank you for being a part of the Women in Pharmacy What's Next group. Please feel free to invite other women in pharmacy, and have a good night. Take care.